It's an early morning start as we head down to Pew Pew to meet up with JD Hickman's new SINOTRUK C7H 8x4 tractor unit, pulling a skeletal trailer with a 40-foot box of Taranaki cheese to Tauranga for export. It's still dark when we meet Chris at the Pew Pew sale yards to join him for his run north through the Waikato and then over the Kaimais. Access up into the cab is by way of 3 well-spaced steps with grab handles front and back of the door. The bottom step is hinged and set forward and recessed back a bit compared to the ones above it, which makes it a little unnatural when you first encounter it. The door opening is good and wide, however, so it makes for generally easy cab access. Inside the cab, there is plenty of seat adjustment for the tallest driver, and good steering wheel adjustment to help you get comfortable. Dash layout is very traditional with speedo and tachometer along with fuel, temperature and air pressure gauges and a digital display. On the centre dash is a touchscreen audio system, traction controls and climate controls. Other functions are on the column mounted stalks with wiper and indicators on the left and retarder on the right. There's also an exhaust brake switch on the left of the centre dash. There is a gear selector on the floor to the left of the driver's seat, which has buttons for manual or auto and economy or power mode, and for a crawler gear. It's a 12-speed AMT box, hooked up to a 540 horsepower engine, developing maximum horsepower at 1900 revs per minute and 2500 newton meters of torque at 1050 to 1350 revs per minute. As I head out across the Inuia Straits, the truck picks up revs quickly, but I do notice on a few small climbs we encounter that the auto mode downshifts are quite slow, and this will have a bearing on our climb over the Kaimais. Chris has warned us that he manually downshifts at 1500 revs per minute on these climbs to avoid bogging down. There is quite a bit of road bumping coming up through the cab across here, and I do find that the steering seems to have a bit of play in it that requires regular correction. Despite this, I can hold a good position on the road. It just takes a bit more concentration. There are 2 very big mirror shrouds that house a very large flat mirror and a large lower convex mirror. Together they do create a blind spot when you're approaching intersections, and they can tend to vibrate in normal operation, which can be annoying. As we get to the foot of the Tauranga Hill, we encounter a traffic jam and have to crawl up this final climb, stopping and starting repeatedly. This does highlight one issue: how difficult it is to operate both the brake and throttle pedals using 2 feet. Both pedals are on the right of the steering column, and there's not a lot of room for a 2-foot operation. Also, I have to bend my left leg around the column to get to the brake pedal. I do manage it, however, and it makes it much easier to control the stopping and starting. Chris is very happy with his ride. This is his regular run, and the SINOTRUK handles it easily with no dramas. Once you get used to driving it, it performs well and makes good time over the ground. It's not a 600 horsepower plus giant, but over these roads, which do present plenty of challenges, it handles things comfortably and without stress for Chris. He certainly has no major issues with the Chinese ride.